Alrighty, sports fans, welcome on in. It is a Friday. It is a fun Friday. It is a football Friday because every Friday is football Friday because I invented it, I've declared it, and that's how it is. This is The Drive with Spence Checketts on ESPN 792.1 FM. I'm not Spence. I'm Scott Mitchell. I'm filling in, and I'm at a special place. I'm at a special place inside a special place. That's how special today is. I'm here at the Mountain America Expo Center at the Salt Lake Home and Garden Show. And, of course, I'm in the Culligan Water booth. Culligan Water, all water is not the same. Everything is not the same. These guys are amazing. I have an education on water. I'm a believer that all water is not the same. We're going to talk to Colson and Kent here in a bit, but right now we're going to get this show started. Of course, we are a proud partner of the Utah ESPN Network. So welcome on into the show. Got a fun show today. We are going to talk to, because if you're a Utah fan, exciting things. Andy Larson's going to pop by. Paul Pugmire, we're going to talk a little golf. Hey, everybody likes golf. 4, except for when I play, it's 5, because, you know, I can hit it a long way in the wrong direction. All right, Tyson Ewing also is going to pop in. Sean Mooney. Really exciting show. Fun things going on. And since it's fun, and since it's Friday, we're going to talk a little bit of football. We're going to do a little no huddle here, right? So we go up tempo, we get excited, we have a little bit of fun. Everyone, just so you know, our national pastime in America is football. It is the most popular sport, and I love them all, but I'm a little bit impartial. I'm a little bit more interested in football, and it's a very, 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 very fun thing that I love to talk about. So we're going to talk about a bunch of things, some interesting trends possibly happening in the NFL with free agent strategy, right? And like, you know, there's guys that have been asked to be traded. There's a lot of different moving parts. How does age fit into this? How does a contract? Quarterbacks always fit into everything, so you got to figure all this out when you do your strategy. I want to talk about that today. Also, is Bill Belichick the new trend in college football? And I'll get into that a little bit, and maybe we'll have a discussion about the NIL movement. And there's some folks that are actually saying it helps players when they transition into the NFL. Moving in the NIL actually helps you when you go to the NFL, if that makes any sense. Stop by, okay? We're at the Culligan Water booth here at the Mountain America Expo, Salt Lake Home and Garden Show. And, of course, we have the ESPN 700, the ESPN, the Fan, $1 million bracket challenge. We got our little QR code. You can come down, sign up for that. Come say hello. The home show is amazing. Love the home. There's so much going on here, so come on down. Okay, so Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett he's not happy. And who could blame him, right? Who's happy in Cleveland, right? The happiest people in Cleveland are the ones that get on the airplane and leave. Like, nobody's happy in Cleveland. And they have, like, all these first-round draft choices forever, for years. Cleveland, to me, kind of has a personal affinity. It was the first time in the NFL that I actually got to play. Like, significant time. And it's an amazing story. I'm not going to bore you with it today, other than Cleveland, for me, always holds a dear place in my heart. It was a cool place. Now, it was Old Municipal Stadium. The dog pound was in effect, you know, and it was a great atmosphere to play. But, it was a crappy locker room if you're interested. But it was just a cool environment. So Myles Garrett is not happy, right? He's upset. He wants to get traded, and the owner says, "I'm not even going to talk to you. Don't even come into my office. You're not allowed. This is my office. Get out of my office. And I don't want to talk to you. I'm not going to trade you." DJ Metcalf, right? He's mad. He's upset. He's like, "What? I don't like it in Seattle anymore. I want to get traded." Now, in the NFL, you can't whine and complain like they do in the NBA. Like, if you're an NBA player, you just whine and you complain and you just get mopey, and they'll trade you, you know? Or if you're like Luka, you just drink a lot, right? You drink and you vape. You drink and you vape, you're good. In the NFL, you can drink all you want. You can vape all you want. You can take all the drugs you want. They're not trading you unless they're going to trade you. So you can't be mopey, right? It's not how it works. In fact, if you get mopey, they go, "We're not talking to you. Go away." So you have to ask yourself, because I think this is an interesting dynamic that happens like in the NFL, where you're in a balancing act, right? And you're seeing this with teams, and Cleveland is one of those teams. Even Seattle is one of those teams. The 49ers with Brock Purdy, they've offered Brock Purdy about $45 million a year. I don't know all of the length of his contract, but there's this juggling act that goes on, all right? And so you have Myles Garrett, and he's a great player. Like if I'm having a team, Myles Garrett's a former number 1 pick in the draft. Edge rushers who are disruptive are amazing. He's an amazing guy, right? You want to have a Myles Garrett. Like I would be excited to see where Myles Garrett actually ends up. Like, where are you going to be? Because and Myles, all he wants to do is be on a winning team. He's like, I don't need all the money in the world. What I need to be on a winning team. Okay, so Myles is he's complaining because he wants to move, and the Cleveland's going, all right, we have Deshaun Watson. He's not even going to probably play this year, and we've got to find another quarterback. They talked about competition at the quarterback position, so they're asking themselves, would it be better for us to trade Myles Garrett? Because what we get is assets, right? We get draft picks. We get, maybe we get player. Who knows what you get in a trade? And so you say, is it worth it to us to get these assets? Because we're not going to be competitive because our quarterback positions is a hot mess, right? Deshaun Watson been an abysmal failure, maybe one of the biggest bust failures in free agency ever. I mean, it's not been good for a lot of reasons. Because I was a fan of Deshaun Watson. I liked his game. He came in early in the NFL but man, he really fizzled out. $250 million just like sent him off a cliff. And it's tragic, right? It's just tragic for everyone involved. So he's a problem. He's a hot mess for this team. And he's so the question with the quarterback situation, they got to find a new guy. And if they find a new guy, is he going to help the team win now or in the next few years? And so they're not doing anything with Myles Garrett. He may get traded at some point, but Cleveland's like, okay, well, let's say we draft a guy. We draft Cam Ward. And you go, okay, maybe Cam Ward turns into this year's Jaden Daniels. Because if you do that, you definitely keep Myles Garrett. Because he's still got a lot left in the tank. You now are competitive at the quarterback, and now you've put yourself in a position to be a really good team, right? But if you don't get – and you don't know that because most rookie quarterbacks aren't Jaden Daniels. They're not C.J. Stroud. Like that, those things happening are insane. They're really insane with like how they did. And it's just great. Jaden Daniels is just like that to me is the story of the decade, quite frankly, if you ask me in the NFL. So you don't know what you're going to get. You get Shedeur Sanders maybe, right? And so you don't want to give up Myles Garrett unless you go, okay, yeah, we got a young quarterback. He's going to be a couple of years. Then you trade Myles Garrett because your window of now winning has been pushed out because of the quarterback situation. And so now you have and so you're balancing all of this stuff all the time, trying to figure out, because you don't want to get in a situation where you're on a yo-yo, right? Where, man, we got a great defense and we're wasting this great defense on a crappy offense, or we've got an amazing offense and we just can't seem to get it together defensively. And you never kind of have nirvana, where everything is just the Kansas City Chiefs or the New England Patriots back in the day. And so you're on this yo-yo and you can't seem to ever get it all together. Now the 49ers have been on that nirvana. They found a young quarterback in Brock Purdy, and they were able to sign a lot of key guys, both offensively and defensively. I mean, the 49ers not winning a Super Bowl in the last 4 years is it's a travesty. They should have and they're there, right? And it's hard to win a Super Bowl, but man, they were primed all across the board to win the freaking Super Bowl. And so now they're in a different way, right? They're in a we're not totally convinced of how great Brock Purdy is. We're not willing to sell the farm. We're not ready to go on the yo-yo. So we're just going to try to yo but we can't go yo-yo, right? So if we can just yo with our quarterback. And the quarterback, and this is what's hard. Because you're a young guy, right? And all of a sudden somebody throws all this money at you, and you get greedy. You go, I want it all, and then you get your ego, right? And you say, oh, well, I'm better than that guy. I'm better than Tua. I'm better than Trevor Lawrence, and they're getting this, and I'm not getting that. And so the ego gets involved. You start hearing the dollar signs, and you can't see past the end of your face, because the dollar signs have you so clouded with how much money that you're going to get. Like I'm not sure that any 20 to maybe 30-year-old male in America can think rationally when you're winning the lottery. That's the equivalent of signing a long-term NFL deal is like winning the lottery. It's just insane money, and so it's really hard to have a rational sense about it. Now, Brock Purdy seems like a pretty level, even-keel guy, and if he looks at the big picture of this and realizes, I don't want all the money in the world and just get the snot kicked out of me every single week, because it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun for anyone. And with the generational money that these guys are getting, $45 million a year, and he'll probably get somewhere in the neighborhood of $100,000 or $100 million guaranteed, because that's all you care about. Just so you know, out there, people, you don't care about the whole contract length. All you care about is, what am I guaranteed? Because they're either going to cut me. I'm never going to see the full length of this contract. I'm either getting cut or they're reworking my contract. And the only way they rework your contract is if they think that they're going to go through this whole scenario again down the road. How do we manage our strategy to get off the yo-yo in the NFL? And so they'll just cut bait, and they'll move on. And you see other quarterbacks, you see other positions where they're at that point. Aaron Rodgers, right? And so Aaron Rodgers might be a guy you go, okay, we're not going to get a quarterback in the draft if we're Cleveland. We're not going to, get Deshaun Watson this year. So maybe we have a guy that's like, I'm going to say like, an Aaron Rodgers, that at best we're only going like 2 years with you. So, but at least it might make us competitive. We might, because Cleveland isn't, the cupboards aren't bare, right? In Cleveland. So, it's all this management of where you're going to go, and you don't know the answers. If you're like right now, they got to wait, right? But they're doing their homework. They're interviewing people. They're seeing. Is it a college guy? Is it an aging veteran? Is it a Sam Darnold? Do we feel like Sam Darnold is a guy that maybe we don't quite pay him? Because I think Sam Darnold's a very interesting pick for a lot of teams in the NFL, because he's a guy who could have a bigger upside, and you get him on the right team. I mean, he could be a good option with the 49ers. He actually could be a really good option, in my opinion, of with the Vikings. The only problem with the Vikings is they've drafted a guy, and so when you have two quarterbacks in a situation, it's bad. It's really bad, because the allegiance gets divided, and it's just not a good. When Steve Young and Joe Montana were together with the 49ers, I think everyone said, hey, Joe is Joe. Like, he's our guy. But there were still some Steve guys. And it's not good when you have – it just doesn't create good chemistry at all on a team. So it's a fascinating thing, and I hope you appreciate this conversation, because if you want, everyone's like, where's this guy going and where's that guy going and what's going to happen here? And it's a really fascinating scenario where of how you manage, because you're trying to make yourself as competitive as you can, as quickly as you can, managing age of players, contracts, and the quarterbacks. Like, and you got to figure all that stuff out. So it's a fascinating thing, and kind of watch that, when you're doing things. All right, we're going to take a break, and before we take a break, we're going to jump out to our guys here at the Culligan Water booth. Right, so we're at the Culligan Water booth, and can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Colson and we have Kent here, and before we get started, you need to understand something. All water is not the same. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that. You should know. And what's fascinating is all water in Utah is not the same. Like, it's different in Bountiful.
That's right.
Than it is out in Harriman. And I grew up in Springville, and we got our water right out of the mountain from a spring. It was never treated. It was never anything, and it was freaking amazing, but not so much anymore. But before we get into all water not being equal, you guys have an amazing deal. All right, you got to hear. I'm just telling you, you got to hear this if you're out there. And if you don't do this, there's something wrong with you. Okay, Kent here has an amazing offer for anybody out there that's listening. Culligan Water is going to hook you up big time.
We've got a fantastic deal. Appreciate that, Scott. We're super excited for those of you that are listening, those that are coming to the home show. We've got a great deal. You call us today at 801-509-9602. We're so confident in our product, we're going to give you 3 months for free. We'll put our equipment into your house, let you try it for 3 months, and we're so confident that you're going to love your water, your Culligan Water, that you're going to be a lifelong customer.
Okay, what's the catch? Come on, there's got to be a catch.
No catch.
No catch at all.
No catch. 3 months free.
3 months, and now water. Let's talk about what this is, right? So there's this whole idea about soft water, about drinking water, and dialing it in, right? And so you'll come out, you'll test people's water, you'll tell them, because what I've learned is, like, the water is not the same everywhere, and it might not even be the same different times of the month. So talk about how you test water, and you make sure that someone's going to get the very best water for the different types of uses that they have water with.
Right. Yeah, you want to trust the water experts, right? And that's what Culligan is. We specialize in water filtration. So everything we do, everything water touches is what Culligan Water specializes in. We test water a multitude of different ways to make sure that the equipment that we're providing is specialized, it's customized to you, to your family, to your home's water needs. And so, like Ken said, no matter what type of system you want or we determine is right for your family, we're going to give that to you for free for the first 3 months. Just call us at 801-509-9602.
Okay, so I think some people have this aversion to, like, soft water, or they don't know about it, or because here's what was so cool. You all came to my house, okay? Larry came out to my house, and I got an education. I was like, and I found my water has issues, right?
Yep.
So
you have a water softener out there, don't you?
Well, yes, but it doesn't apparently have salt in it. So
and you're not alone.
Yes. So talk to me about soft water for just a minute, and why should I have soft water?
Do you like cleaner, healthier skin and hair?
Who doesn't?
Do you like?
I mean, look at me. If I just look at me, I need all the help I can get, Colson.
Yeah.
Come on.
Do you like the thought of all your water using appliances having a 50% longer lifespan?
Oh.
Did you know that?
Well, of course. No, I did not know that.
Yeah. Water heaters, dishwashers, laundry machines, everything can benefit from softened water. So if you don't like the feel of it, and we hear that from time to time, we have a proprietary technology. It's called Dial-A-Soft. You can actually customize how soft that water is as it comes into your home.
So the system, because here's I'm not really good at this. So the system is just going to take care of everything.
It's going to
You
take care
dial
of
it in. When my water gets different, if I whatever issue I have, you can remove harmful minerals. You can change the hardness, the softness of it, but you can also give me really good. Because I mean, I lived in Miami, Florida, and all I know is when the water came out, it was like yellow.
Yeah.
And so you can get good drinking water. Literally, I can drink right out of the faucet.
That's right. Yeah, so we talk about the Culligan difference, and Culligan has built out an ecosystem of products to support every different type of water situation. We have the drinking water solutions, we have the softening solutions, we have whole home filtration, we have the 5-gallon jugs that we'll deliver to your home or your office, and then we'll support all those products with world-class service. We have salt delivery. If you never want to lift another heavy bag of salt,
That would be me.
Yeah. We can take care of it.
Okay, listen, everyone out there, I just have to talk to you for just a minute. You need to listen to me, okay? If you don't do this, you're stupid, okay? That's all I have to tell you. Right.
We would never call your
well, and I don't. No, I
stupid.
understand that, but we have to have an honest conversation. We're in a time in our country where we need honest and truthful conversation. Why not try this? Seriously, you're not
for free. For 3 months.
3 months, you're going to get this for free. And water impacts our lives in so many different ways. The health perspective, the longevity, as you've talked about, of our appliances and things. So you're going to save yourself tons of money. You're going to be healthier, and you're going to have peace of mind, right? So tell them where they can go. What do they need to do to sign up for free?
You can find us at CulliganSLC.com. But for your listeners to get that deal today for the 3 free months, you got to call us 801-509-9602. Give us a call. We can get you that deal. Schedule an appointment so we can come test your water, know what's in it. We'll tell you what's going on, and we'll give you your options, and we'll provide that for you for free for 3 months.
Just so everyone knows, I know you're not stupid out there, but you need to do this, okay? You need to do this. There's no risk. Serious. So give it a try. All right, we're going to take a break right here, but we'll catch up with Colson and Kent here in just a minute. This is the Drive. It's the Drive with Spence Checketts here on ESPN 792.1 FM. When we come back, Andy Larson from the Salt Lake Tribune is going to talk about, some basketball. Hello, sports fans. Welcome back. It is The Drive with Spence Checketts here on ESPN 792.1 FM. I'm not Spence. I'm Scott Mitchell filling in for Spence. We're here at the Mountain America Expo Center at the Salt Lake Home and Garden Show. If you want tickets, go to saltlakehomeandgardenshow.com. Go get your tickets. Come in. I'm at the Culligan Water Booth. These guys are amazing. Just telling you, all water is not the same. They've been around a long time. They know water. They know it better than anybody. Water is different in Bountiful than it is in Harriman, and different all across the state for so many reasons. It's fascinating to learn why that's the case. They're going to dial you in to get the very best, purest water that you could possibly have here in Utah. And water, we're a dry state, right? So water is king. And so come on down, say hello, sign up for the ESPN 700, ESPN The Fan, $1 million bracket challenge. You just do the QR code, say hello, slap me a high five. We have some pens. You can get you come to the home and garden show, and you can get candy, you can get pens, you can get all kinds of things. So really fun. Glad to be here. It's a Friday. It's a fun Friday. It's a football Friday. But we're not going to talk about football right now. We're going to talk to Andy Larson, who, of course, covers the Utah Jazz for the Salt Lake Tribune, and he's covered other people. But welcome to the program, Andy Larson. Andy, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Hey, I'm learning about water today. So I'm learning that my complexion actually will look better if I get better water, and I need all the help I can get. You, on the other hand, don't. You always look good. You must have Culligan water now because you have such a fine, beautiful face.
That is the first time I've heard that in years, Scott. So I don't know if that's true, but thank you for the compliment anyway.
We can neither confirm nor deny because we're on the radio, right? So everyone has we have a face for radio and a voice for television. That's how it works. Okay, I have this burn.
I can write. I'll just put it that way.
There you go. Those who can't speak and those that look terrible, right? Is that your motto?
Yeah.
All right, so I've had this question, and it drives me crazy, and I need to know the answer, and you're the person that can actually give me the answer on this one. So referring to the Utah Jazz, so you have these veteran guys on your team, like Jordan Clarkson and Colin Sexton, Laurie Markkinen, some of these other guys. I mean Walker Kessler, he's kind of emerging as a legitimate NBA guy. How do these players, knowing, right, that you're going through a rebuild, and maybe there's different strategies of how you go about the rebuild, whether you might say that tanking is a high priority this year, but so you're a player like these guys, and you only have so many years in your NBA life, and you go, yeah, I have to go through the rebuild. How do these guys manage it and handle it? What has been your kind of perception of these players? And are they disgruntled? Are they happy? Where are the veteran guys on this rebuild Jazz team?
Yeah, it probably depends on the day and depends on the guy, right? Like I think so. Jordan Clarkson, for example, is not going to be getting a huge deal after this ends, kind of no matter what, just because he's at that point of his career and has kind of underplayed the last one the Jazz got him. So this is a little bit more of he's kind of more fine with it because it is he's not giving up any kind of long-term earning potential
Gotcha.
as a result of it. And honestly, Jordan's kind of a chill guy, right? Like kind of understands the deal and likes it in Utah and so on and so forth. But I would also say, there are other players who are less cool with it, right? Like I think like a Colin Sexton or a John Collins, how much they play and how well they play over the course of this year does probably affect their next contract negotiations come, 15 months from now. And so, yeah, there's kind of more upsetness there, but ultimately they also don't have the power to put themselves in the games, right? Like, and I wouldn't say that they're disgruntled or anything. I think they've both been good soldiers, but, I think that it's clear that they would obviously prefer to play and prefer to do the sport that they love, right? Like, I think in Larry Markkinen's case is kind of the interesting one from a long-term Jazz perspective, because Lowry, is under contract for the long haul with the Jazz on a near max contract, and he believes in kind of the plan that the Jazz are doing, believes in kind of the rebuild, believes in kind of the tanking strategy a little bit as a way to improve the team moving forward. So for him, he's kind of bought in on the long-term plan. But it's those guys that only have like 1 year left after this, like John, like Jordan, like Colin Sexton, who, are not thrilled about what's going on. And, truth be told, parts of them want to play in somewhere else.
Yeah. And I think it's fascinating, too, because you have guys like that that go, hey, I'm playing for an opportunity. When I get on the court, and so now you're the coach and you go, how much do we play these guys? Because we know they're going to play hard. We know that they're going to really put forth an effort, and we want effort. We just want to lose. So I can't, and so that kind of brings me to Will Hardy and like where is Will Hardy? Like does he have to be concerned about his long-term prospects as a coach, knowing, hey, this is the management's, and I know he's the guy that says all the right things and really believes them, and he's about winning and about doing things the right way, but that's not necessarily the plan right now. Does he ever get concerned, like, maybe, if I just lose all the time at Utah, I may never get another job again?
Not that I've seen, and I think they gave him a contract extension before the beginning of this year, kind of in recognition of the fact of like, hey, you are tanking for us. We understand that this is not your fault. And in fact, if you talk to the Jazz front office, they're big Will Hardy fans. They really think that he's a very good coach and who will coach the next good Jazz team. But yeah, that doesn't mean the losing any easier. I think there's clearly been times this season where Will has, gone by the tanking book, if you will, and prioritized development of the youth. And then I think there are pretty clearly times where he's tried to win games with the veterans. And it's hard for a coach and hard for a competitive guy like Will to kind of do both, or to focus on just development and kind of ignore kind of the other players on the team. So, look, it's a tough situation. Everything I've heard publicly from Will and even privately has been pretty confident that, like, he's in the organization for the long haul, for the long haul. So, I don't think there's anything to be worried about from a Jazz perspective there. But, I also think that it's something that the Jazz need to continually watch out for with regards to Will, because if they do want him as their coach of the future, like, there is always that risk that it does go awry.
You wrote an article about the Jazz raising ticket prices, and some folks aren't really happy about it. Tell me a little bit about that, because I think it's such a tough thing, in the NBA, and especially for where the Jazz are. It seems like a very tough ask, under the present circumstances. So talk a little bit about what's going on with the ticket price raise and maybe a little reaction to that.
Yeah, so look, the Jazz, season ticket holders got their renewal notices recently. Generally, upper bowl ticket prices stayed about the same. Lower bowl ticket prices had a small increase. I think it's fair to say that there were a lot of fans that weren't happy with that. For two reasons. One, obviously, the team is terrible and not playing its best players, and you're watching kind of a G League level quality product on for at least some minutes out on the floor for a lot of the games this year. And then second, that if you look at the secondary market, these Jazz fans can, if you wanted to go to 41 Jazz games next year, you're likely going to be able to do that cheaper by buying those tickets on SeatGeek rather than buying season tickets. And so those fans feel kind of undercut that, that the idea with season ticket memberships in general is that, the team kind of rewards your loyalty, but they feel like they're being charged a premium price for a poor product right now. Right. So, it's a tough situation for those fans. And, look, as a former season ticket holder myself, like I feel for that, like I got in at the, bottom of the rebuild when it was $5 a game in the upper bowl corner. And, I thought that was about right. And now, those tickets are $20 a game. And, some of the other tickets are increasing. And obviously, even when I was a season ticket member back then, like 15, 20 years ago, like it wasn't this bad on the floor. So, look, I give Jazz fans a lot of credit for kind of sticking with the franchise, for kind of filling the Delta Center on most nights. I go to so many NBA arenas where you see half, three-quarters empty buildings. That's not the case with the Delta Center and the Jazz, and Jazz fans deserve a lot of credit for that. My opinion is that they need to kind of reward that fan base's trust and that the kind of the belief in them by giving them a break on those prices rather than increasing them. But yeah, we've seen the opposite.
It almost feels, especially with kind of the league trying to, get people excited to watch. They kind of have a little bit of an image problem right now, or disinterested problem. Maybe is a little bit of a better statement. That this might not be the best move at this time, but I wonder if it's a math problem where because there is some attrition, right? I mean, you ran into people who just say, "Hey, I'm not going to renew next year," and for all the reasons you've explained. So is it just a math problem? They raise it a little bit. They know they're just going to have some attrition, and so it's kind of a net wash. I mean, is that part of the strategy of like, all right, we know we're going to lose some people, but it's okay because we're making more money?
Yeah, look, I mean, I don't know if it's kind of I had a call with them today. They have more data on this than we do, right? Like, so they can look at it and say, hey, these fans are likely to not renew based on the fact that they're not attending very many games this season and so on and so forth, right? Like, and that's fair and good. And, so they probably have legitimate mathematical reasons to keep prices the same or raise them, right? Like, and indeed, maybe they could have raised them even more like the Dallas Mavericks did. What I would argue is that, like, just because you can doesn't mean that you should. And in the end, yes, you do, risk alienating your most fervent supporters by raising their ticket prices while this is going on. And even if fans are renewing at a relatively high rate or even just an average rate, it's still not great to make them mad, even if they are voting with their dollars that they still love the Utah Jazz. They may love the Utah Jazz. They may love basketball as a product. They might not like what you're doing with the franchise. And I think that's kind of two different things that, just because someone is giving you their money doesn't mean that they're necessarily happy with what's going
on. I know back many, many years ago. In fact, it was, Gene Klein, and he was the owner of the San Diego Chargers. And he was negotiating the television deal with the NFL and the networks, and he just threw out a number, right? He goes, "This is what it's going to cost you," and he just went high, right? And he did the same. He owned a bunch of movie theaters, and he went from, I think it was like $1 to go to the movie, and he just arbitrarily just went up to $4, or somewhere around $4 or $5, and people were outraged. Oh, how dare you do that? And he wrote in his book, he said, I just did it, and people paid it. And he goes, that was the shocking thing to me was, people want to go to the movie, and so they just paid it. What is the whole strategy for the Jazz to just raise the ticket prices, especially at a time when you think it's? I mean, what have they given a strategy or a reasoning, or or what? Are tariffs impacting the NBA?
Yeah, I don't think that the tariffs are playing a role here. I mean, look, I think it's basically the strategy is that they feel like they can based on the data that they have. And,
okay.
Look, you have to figure out a way to pay the $130 million payroll. But, like, in the end, the Jazz have the second lowest payroll in the NBA. The Jazz are getting $900 million from Salt Lake City taxpayers for the Delta Center renovations. They bought the team for $1.6 billion. It's probably worth $2.5, $3 billion now. Like, these are not, people who are struggling for money. And that's true from a revenue point of view as well, that the NBA TV contract tripling over the next 8 years means that, essentially that entire payroll can be covered by TV revenue to at least to a huge degree of it. So, look, I mean, I think that is kind of the rationale is, you can keep the prices the same. They've got the data that supports that. And, the Jazz are a money-making franchise to some extent. That being said, like, it's, if you raise ticket prices, given that, like, you probably are going to have a bad PR day. And that's probably what happens when people like me write an article like I did today about the season ticket price increase.
Okay. March is March Madness, and of course, a lot of people think that's because of the NCAA. But to me, it's the madness of the Utah Jazz. They got to make hay here in this month, and they got 20 games left in the season or somewhere around that. What is a realistic win total for the Jazz to secure them a top spot in that lottery world?
Ooh, that's a good question. So right now they're on pace for, I think it's 19 and a half wins, and that's probably about right.
Okay.
You look at what Washington has done. Washington's a little bit better since the trade deadline. New Orleans is playing Zion Williamson again. Some of their talent, their competition has gotten better. You have some other teams kind of lower down in the tank standings, and when I say lower, I mean more wins, fewer losses. So, like Toronto, for example, is tanking more now than before. Philadelphia is tanking more now than before as they try to keep their pick. But yeah, honestly, I think that 19-20 win range is probably the target. But I do think it matters whether you get first, second, or third kind of in the tank race. Because, while you get the same odds at Cooper Flag for the top three picks in the top three standings, I should say, if you don't win the lottery, that's where it can hurt you, and it depends how far you move down. So if you're the number one seed going into the lottery, the lowest you can go is 5, whereas if you're the number 3 seed, the lowest you can go is 7. And I do think there's a big difference in the quality of the number 5 and number 7 picks in this draft. And so, if you are going to spend a whole season tanking, it does just make sense to go all the way and try to secure that number 1 spot if you can, in order to guarantee yourself a top 5 pick.
So I like 19 wins. 19 was a great number for me. It's a number I wore my entire life, so I'm going with 19, and we're going to get that top spot. I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much, Andy. Great stuff. Hope you have a great weekend and the rest of your Friday.
Yeah, you too, Scott. See ya.
All righty, there you have it. Andy Larson covers the Jazz for the Salt Lake Tribune. A very interesting article about ticket prices. I think it's a bad move to raise the ticket price, but whatever. I'm not a billionaire. I don't make those decisions. I'm here at the Culligan Water booth. Culligan Water is the most amazing, best water you could ever have. Purest. You need to come check out Culligan Water. They have offices all across the state of Utah, here in Ogden, Salt Lake, and Provo. And I'm joined here with Colson and Kent. And you guys have been around a while. You guys have kind of had a history. I mean, you're the water boy, right?
Yeah, since 1928, right? Culligan's been around. That's almost 100 years. That's a long time.
Really?
Yeah, specializing in water and water filtration. So we pioneered the water filtration industry. Culligan created the world's first water softener, not the worst water softener. The world's first water softener, and we've been doing it ever since.
So it's not your first rodeo. You guys have been around a while. You have this dialed in, literally. I mean, you really got it going on.
Yeah, I'm a third-generation Culligan man. They call me the water boy.
That is really cool. And, a lot of family businesses, they do it right, and you guys really do it right. And so, Kent, here's what they're really doing right. This is amazing. I called people stupid. If you don't do this, I will not call you stupid anymore. I'll just call you, you need an urge, people. You stand up. Water's important, and get it right. So tell us about this great offer you guys have for folks.
Yeah, for the Home and Garden Show, we've got an incredible offer for your listeners, Scott. Come check us out at Mountain America Expo Center. We're in the southeast corner. Come talk to our guys here. Bring a sample of your water. We can test it. But if you call us or you come see us before the end of the home show, we're going to put our money where our mouth is. We love our products. We're confident in our products. We will let you try out our system for free for 3 months. We'll install it. We'll get it set up. We'll get it dialed into your family's needs. You try it for 3 months. If it's not working for you, we'll pick up the equipment, but we're confident you're going to love it, and you're going to love being a part of the Culligan Water family.
Okay, if you have questions, you're kind of not sure about water, There's not a better deal out there. I mean, they'll actually show up. They'll test your water. They'll set up the system. They'll get your water, whether it's for your dishes or your heating, whatever,
Yeah.
your washer and dryer and all. You don't dry with wet stuff, but
yeah.
there is a steam that you can use in your dryer. Does that impact? Does bad steam actually? Because I have a steam. No, it's amazing, right? But
Well,
it is water that you actually use.
Yeah, bad water ruins everything, right? It ruins your drinking water. It ruins your appliances. It ruins your skin. It ruins your hair. The benefits of good, high-quality water, you drink more of it, which makes you healthier.
Yes.
We're all on a health kick these days, aren't we? Why not start with improving the water that you put in your body? Your body is 80% water. And guess what? Water quality is not tomorrow's issue. It's today's problem, right? There are water quality issues that are out there today that are really harmful. And so give us a call. Let us come out. Let us do a free water test for you. Let us educate you like we did for you, Scott, the other day, and tell you what's in your water so you can make the best educated decision for you, your family, your home. Protect your investment. Protect your family. Get a Culligan solution put in, whether that's drinking water, whether it's a water softener, 5-gallon water jugs, salt delivery, whatever. We'll do it for you.
Water is not the same in all of Utah,
Nope.
right? And so, it's also there are things that get in the water and it changes with the chemical makeup of things and all whatever's in it. And I found out I had certain things in my water, hardness and why that's such an issue. And I have a water softener and it doesn't even have salt in it, and so it's not. I wouldn't even know if it was good or bad. And you really straighten all that up for people, and you get a system dialed in that they can have confidence, and you can test it out for 3 months and have confidence knowing you're going to get the best water you possibly can, and you can make a decision at that point.
Yeah, and how nice would it have been for you to be alerted that your softener was out of salt months ago?
Right.
You're not alone. Culligan systems will alert you when your salt levels are low so that you're not harming the equipment, so that you're able to provide your family with the best type of water, right, that's going to protect, again, your appliances, your skin, your family, everything.
So you're telling so people come out, and you really should try this. I'm just anyone out there, just they'll come out, they'll set it all up, they'll do it, and for 3 months for free, 3 months for free,
No obligation.
no obligations. They'll take the system out if you just go no, and that I believe it's because that's how confident you are in this.
Oh, yeah.
If people will just try this, it will really change things in their life.
We have the best systems on the market. Period.
You're gonna love your laundry. It's gonna feel softer. It's gonna smell fresher. You're gonna love your skin, your hair. You're going to love that your showers are clean, that your appliances are clean and working well. You're going to be confident. You're going to be hooked.
And you're going to love the taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm a snob about the taste of water. I will just tell, and it's not the same. And so I got to have good tasting water.
Yep.
All right. So again,
call us. Call us right now. We've got Christina on the other line fielding your calls. 801-509-9602. 801-509-9602. Call us. We'll set up an appointment. We'll come out to your place. It'll be quick and easy, and we'll get you taken care of.
All right, give them a call. You got to do it. You got to do it, folks. Best water for all of your water needs. It's very, very important. So, all right, thank you. We're going to tune back in with Colton and Kent here in about a half an hour. We're at the Mountain America Expo Center at the Salt Lake Home and Garden Show at the Culligan booth. Stop by, say hello, call them up on the phone, please. And you will not be disappointed. Just an incredible thing. This is The Drive with Spence Checketts. I'm Scott Mitchell. When we come back, I think, what do we have as we come back here? We got Paul Pugmire. We're going to talk a little PGA Tour golf. One of my favorite things in life is golf. So stick around. We'll be right back. Hello, sports fans. Welcome back. It is The Drive with Spence Checketts, ESPN 792.1 FM. Proud to be a part of Utah's ESPN Sports Network. I'm Scott Mitchell. I'm not Spence. People have actually claimed that we look alike. I'm just kidding. No, we don't look alike. We think alike. We love sports, and we love to talk about sports. So that's all we need in common in life is that. We're here at the Mountain America Expo Center at the Salt Lake Home and Garden Show. I'm right at the Culligan booth. And I'm telling you, folks, water is not the same. These guys have been in business for a long time, and they've got some amazing deals going on. Amazing deals right now. You really should check them out, and you really should take their offer. They're going to give you their whole service. They're going to bring in the equipment, set you all up 3 months for free. So give them a call. 801-509-9602, and they will set you up. So great deal happening, and you want to be a part of it. So it's been fun. And, look, I'm a big fan of water. I mean, most of our bodies are made up of water, so it does make a difference. They give you the best water for all your water needs in your life, whether it's drinking water or water for the dishes or your laundry or whatever it might be. And it does make a difference having the right makeup of water in your life. So great group of guys, and they do a phenomenal job. Just incredible. All right, an interesting thing is happening, I think, in college football, right? And it's called consolidation. So this whole consolidation thing is all driven by money. Like the money in college sports is, and so the teams that are relevant, the teams that actually move the needle, the teams that actually go, yeah, we got we have interest, are the teams that have success, So most of those teams are in the SEC and the Big Ten. Utah has built up a brand in the Pac-12, and they've created relevance. BYU has really has a long-standing brand here locally in the state of Utah. They really kind of up their game in football and in basketball. I mean, so they're creating this relevance, and it's all driven by money, right? Because if you're relevant, if you move the needle, if people tune in and watch you, then guess what? You're going to do well in college football, and you have to find a way to make yourself relevant. And so everyone, you've heard this from Coach Whittingham before. You've heard him talk about how the teams that invest the money in their programs are going to be the teams that are in the top 25, the teams that are actually going to be relevant, and they're going to be part of the consolidation process that actually happens as the sport moves forward. Because television, everything is going to be driven and is even now by money, and I think there's a so there's something that's going beyond like the Alabamas and the Ohio States and the Georgias and some of the traditional blue blood programs. Of course, USC moved to the Big Ten for greater relevance. Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon seems to be moving the needle. And one of the really fascinating teams to me is Colorado. And Colorado is a dumpster fire in the Pac-12. Like they were horrible in the Pac-12. And Colorado was the linchpin. Colorado moved out of the conference, and they were the worst team in the conference, and they were the one calling all the shots. They basically took down the empire. Like, yeah, UCLA and USC left, and Oregon, and we're kind of figuring it out. And Colorado said, we're gone. We're going to the Big 12. And Brett Maryard, I don't know if he thought this or if he stumbled onto this, or because it's actually quite brilliant. And that is, Colorado went out and they just go, how in the world? Like, we're going to swing for the fences. And what is the biggest fence that we could possibly swing from? And that's getting this massively marketable, move the needle coach in Deion Sanders. And Colorado was not good. Like they were with Deion's first year, everybody's watching Colorado. Colorado, its share of television ratings is staggering. And it wasn't because they had a good program. It wasn't because they had, like, wow, this is like we want to watch Colorado because they're so good. It was Dion. It was the coach. And Dion came in and he shook the rafters. Like he shook it up. And I mean he came in and he changed the roster. He came in and he had all these new guys come in, a new attitude, a whole new just makeover of the Colorado program. And he put himself out there. I mean, he had, constantly having these videos that he was putting out and him talking to his team. And so he was just a master marketer of Dion. And people tuned in, right? And I love it, and it was polarizing because they go, I'm sick of Dion. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. He's this brash, arrogant, flash in the pan person. There's no substance to any of this. It's like roll my eyes kind of thing. And other people go, man, this guy is a freaking genius, and this guy has substance, and he's gonna move the needle, and he has. They still haven't won the conference. They went from zero to being competitive. They go to a bowl game. By the way, it's one of the most watched bowl games of the whole entire bowl season, and it's not one of the playoff bowl games. It's not a New Year's Six bowl game. It's the Alamo Bowl. I mean, talk about your last stand. And so here Dion has done this remarkable transformation of Colorado. So you're the people out there who are like you're going to pick the consolidation. You're going to say who are the haves and who are the have-nots, and why are they? Why are they the teams that and it's not necessarily going to be because they're really good. It's going to be because people are going to tune in and watch them, and they're going to watch the coach as much as them watching the team, because the coach is just he's polarized. He's interesting. He moves the needle. I was dumbfounded when I found out, and the opponents, like Colorado's playing Colorado State. I mean, like a non-conference early season game, you just go, no one cares about this game. Now if Colorado's playing like Alabama, then people are going to no. It was like, and it was all because of Deion Sanders and his cachet. And it was like Deion Sanders descended down from his lofty perch, rolled up his sleeves, got on the sideline, put a headset on and a whistle, and they call him Coach Prime. And he has had a remarkable turnaround. So I'm wondering, is this the model? Right? You look at what's happening here in the state of Utah in basketball, and you see the coach, Kevin Young at BYU, NBA coach, experienced. You get a donor that's like, we're going to pump some money into this, and all of a sudden, BYU is a top 25 program in the country in a year. Like in the first, it's like it turns around quickly, right? And so it's the whole cachet about NBA. We have these coaches who have credibility that are like, they move the needle. So I'm not saying that this was the strategy by the University of Utah, but Alex Jensen, a longtime NBA assistant, a guy who's been known to actually develop players, a guy who's well respected, a guy who understands the program, was a former part of the successful years, a starter for the program. He comes back, and so it's a high-profile coach that moves the needle. Now, here you have, and the crazy one, right? So Bill Belichick, who's like 70-something, he goes, hey, I want that gig. I want that gig. Like Bill Belichick is going to move the needle at North Carolina, who hasn't won a football championship since the 1980s. They're a very well-respected university in the sports world, but they haven't been known specifically for football, right? So the folks at North Carolina, they're out there, they're kind of shaking up the bushes, going, okay, let's see if we can do the whole Colorado thing. Who can we go? Who's dumb enough to go be a head coach in college football and just and try this headache, right? Who in the world would ever do that? Oh, we'll go get Bill Belichick. And some people are like, he's just like Mac Brady's like 70-something, and you're going to bring him in. And they did, and it changed recruiting. Now people are talking about North Carolina. Now, I mean, Bill Belichick is one of the greatest football coaches of all time. You want to talk about somebody who's going to move the needle. And so you have to ask yourself the question, why the heck would Bill Belichick want to go to North Carolina? Yeah, and I've been thinking about this. Like, why would he do it? Why would he go, I have nothing to prove? Like nothing. Like a lot of people might say, and I think that's the scary part for Dion, is like, well, if you go and you fail, that's like a black mark on your resume, on your legacy. It just looks bad, and that's the risk, right? And a lot of people will say, well, are they really going to be that invested in it? It's a full time. It's a you got to be locked into this thing. You got to go out and you got to go into homes and you got to recruit players and you got to do all this stuff. And you have limited time with the players and how you practice, and all of these things factor into. Is it worth it? Is it worth risking my legacy? Do I want that headache? And on top of it, you're dealing with young men whose brains have not fully developed. They make stupid decisions. You scratch your head and go, what was he thinking there? Like, what are you trying to do? And here's why I think Bill Belichick did it, and I think it's brilliant, by the way. I really think this is a brilliant move. When you go into pro football, you're hampered, you're limited by your ability to go get players. You have to draft them. You have to sign them as free agents. That's kind of it. And you have a whole bunch of people going, yeah, we like Shedeur Sanders, and some going, we like Abdul Carter, and some people going, we like somebody else. And so you're trying, and you don't know if they're going to pan out. You have no idea, right? And when you go to college, if you have the money, you can go get whoever you want. And not only can you go get them, you can go get them from another school. Deion Sanders likes, in the NIL, which is really supposed to not be about a pay per play, which is not what it is. It's pay for play. He went out and got over 50 players his first year. Like, where in the NFL can you do that? Where in the NFL can you go, oh yeah, I'm going to basically just gut my roster and replenish it. And I can replenish it with the best talent I can buy. And if someone asked me this question one time, like if you're going to start a program, like one of the things that I would really start with is I would sell out, and I would invest the money, and I would go get the best dudes I could possibly find. And I would do it so I could make an impact immediately in my program. I could win immediately. And then you build your reputation, and then maybe you don't have to go buy as many players. But and that's what North Carolina can do. They literally can go buy an amazing football team. And Bill Belichick can't do that anywhere else. Right? So on top of being able to go and get the talent that you want, you have control over who you get to go get. Now the secret and the trick, and this is probably Bill Belichick going, I'm not going to do this. I don't want to do this. And I will only do it if I have the ability to, as Bill Parcells said, pick the groceries. And you can do that in college football today. And on top of that, you are now like going to create so much relevance for your program just because of your name cachet. So guys go, I want to go play for Bill Belichick because I know he can get me to the NFL. And Bill Belichick says I can get anyone I want because we have some boosters here that are going to throw the money into this. And by the way, I'm 72. So I'm not going to be doing this for a long time. And he's going to make a swing at this. And then, so now you have the big-time programs that are relevant, and now you are starting to see marquee names in football become football coaches because you can change a program very quickly if you go somewhere that has the money to do it. And that combination is deadly. And those are the teams, and you might see teams that could be so irrelevant in college football right now. And I'll tell you one that might be, and that's SMU, because they got a bundle of money. And they've been irrelevant forever. And all of a sudden, SMU is because they did this back in the 1980s. It was just illegal then. And so they know how to do it, right? I'm just telling you, you go out, you find a high-profile coach and some money, you'll be relevant in college football, you'll move the needle, and things will really, really change when you do that. So I think it's a fascinating thing, and I think it was a fascinating decision by a guy like Bill Belichick knowing, and I'm sure the only reason he did it is because he just had someone who goes, I'm going to give you complete control, which is what they did with Dion, and we're going to put the money behind this. And we're going to go out and we can change things in a hurry. And I don't think it's the end of it. I think it's actually the beginning. You're going to start to see some just incredible names in football becoming head football coaches in college football. That's my prediction. That's what I believe. All right. We are here at the Mountain America Expo Center. I'm here at the Colligan Water booth with some amazing people here. And water is king. Water is king. It's king in the state of Utah. Queen, princess, it's everything. We're full of water. Our bodies are full of water. And you guys here at Colligan are going to provide the purest tasting, the best water in the world. And I'm funny about how my drinking water is. Sometimes it doesn't taste very good. And I can't drink it if it's not right. So you guys do an incredible process of giving a person the very best water that they can drink. I mean, if there's anything in life people tell you to do, drink water, right? And how much it means to our health and our wellness, and nobody does it better than you guys.
And it's educational, right? We come out, we talk to you, we educate you on what's in the water, we test the water, we can explain it better than anybody because we've been doing it for longer than anybody. I'm a third-generation Colligan man. This is my family's business. This is our legacy. This is what we do. We improve Utah's water, period.
I think the perception is I would never drink out of my tap, right? I mean, I don't.
There are some people who
never do it. I actually drink bottled water right now, but you could literally drink out of your kitchen sink tap with a Colligan water system.
Yeah. Some people really like the taste of their water in Utah, and I'm not one to tell them that it's bad or good, but I can tell you that we can improve it, right? We can improve whatever type of water you prefer. If you like alkaline water, we can create alkaline water from a tap in your home. If you like purified water, we can purify all of the water in your home, not just from a single faucet or a single fixture, but for every faucet and every fixture. And if you just want soft water to protect your appliances so that your water heater lasts longer, so that your dishwasher lasts longer, we can do that for you as well.
You know what I love? I love the 5-gallon drinking water. That's what we've got at our house. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think we're here. Okay.
I've got the 5-gallon drinking water at my house. I've got young kids at home. They play competition soccer. Those kids drink water like crazy. Every time they're coming and going from the mudroom, they're filling up their their thermos or their Gatorade bottle with the Culligan water. It's gotten to the point, too, where all the teammates are like, hey, hey, I'm out of water. I need some of your water. And then the dads are calling me, hey, what's the deal with your son's water? Like, my son wants Kale's water. Anyways.
So you can hook people. I mean, you talk about people wanting the water and trying to come to your house, get your water or whatever. But you have a way to help folks right now with an amazing deal going on.
We can get that process started right now. Give us a call right now at 801-509-9602. We can give you our water treatment for free for 3 months.
Insane.
You got to call us now, though. This is a promotion that we're running for the home show. So give us a call, 801-509-9602. We'll come to your house. We'll provide you with the product that's right for you. You can try it for 3 months, buy into the fact that this is the best system that you can have, and then make the decision after that.
Well, and the decision after that is pretty cool.
It's easy.
Like you're saying that it's $1 a day to maintain the best water system you could possibly have in your home.
Yeah, less than $1 a day.
Less than $1.
It's affordable.
I stand corrected. Less than $1.
Yeah. These systems, they're so cool, and they're affordable for every Utah family. Water filtration, water problems, those are today's issues, right? They're not tomorrow's problems. They're today's problems. And the state, as good as they are, right, they can't purify and filter your water to the degree that you deserve, right? Your family deserves good, healthy drinking water, and we can provide that for you for less than $1 a day.
Okay, I have to tell you guys this. I've been so impressed with how you've done things. Okay, Larry came to my house, and he gave me an education on water.
Yeah.
And I was just impressed that someone was so passionate about it and just was so thorough. And it was just remarkable to kind of go through my system and see where it's deficient and lacking and getting an education on how different water is and how to actually dial it in to where it actually, I'm comfortable, I'm confident knowing that the water that is in my house is actually the best water makeup that it could possibly be for all of the uses, whether it's my dishes or my washing or drinking water. It was all just amazing. And then he talked about the app you have, which is the coolest thing in the world, because we live in a technology world, and you have this app that kind of really gives you the confidence to manage this and do it in a very efficient and easy way.
Super really cool. It's connected, right? So your softener can communicate with you, so you're up to date and making sure that it's working. You can see how much water is flowing through your softener. The thing I love, I've got an away mode I can turn on this thing. So if I'm heading out of town for the weekend, I can put it on away mode. It'll alert me if water's running in my house. So it's nice that it can also help protect my home from flood and from damage. I also can monitor how much salt I've got. My salt tank is 61% full. I've had this softener for 14 months. I've only put salt in it once.
Wow.
That's incredible.
I need that. I need someone to just and we do so much with our phones. I mean, we live by our phones, and to have that phone and dial it into your water system, and you just have that confidence that you're not going to miss something, you're not going to miss out. It's easy. I'm telling you, people, you got to call today. This is an amazing deal, and it's only happening during the home show. So call 801-509-9602 and get the 3 free months for free. And that's it.
No obligation.
No obligation. They'll set everything up, and you test this out. Give it a shot, because it's so important to get your water right in your life for so many reasons, for our health and wellness and just feeling good about everything. So call them up and do it. So thank you. And we're going to get back to Colson and Kent here in just a bit. But we have to take a break. Sorry, guys, but it's this fascinating conversation. I love it. Make sure you give them a call, and do it now, because this is a special. It's only happening right now. 801-509-9602. That's Culligan Water. All right, we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we are going to have a lovely conversation with Paul Pugmire regarding golf, which I love. This is The Drive with Spence Checketts. I'm filling in for Spence. Scott Mitchell here, ESPN 792.1 FM. Hello, sports fans. Welcome back. It is The Drive with Spence Checketts. I'm not Spence. I'm Scott Mitchell filling in for Spence. We're on ESPN 792.1 FM. And, of course, we are at the Mountain America Expo Center here in Old Sandy, Utah. I'm at the Culligan Water booth, and they got some amazing deals going on right here. Listen to this. They will give you free for 3 months their system. They'll come in, test your water, set you all up, bring in all of their products. You get it free for 3 months. You test it out, and it'll change things for you. Water is a big deal. Give them a call right now, 801-509-9602. So it's only happening during the home show, and you want to make sure you give them a call. Fun show today. Lots of stuff going on. Right now, we're going to talk about my favorite pastime, and that is golf. Paul Pugmire joins us. Of course, he's the president of the First Tee and host of Utah Golf Radio right here on ESPN 792.1 FM. Paul, welcome to the show. How are you today? I imagine that you're not out golfing, but maybe you're one of those crazy psycho people that is.
No, I'm cold, Scott, and it's not quite golf weather out there. Darn it.
We are close, though. I'm feeling it. I can feel the closeness. My golf clubs are talking to me right now, so we're about ready for it.
We're close, and I'm sure I am ready. Holy cow! But it's fun to watch the big boys play, and they're looking warm down in Florida.
Yeah, I want to talk to you a little bit about that. So you got the Arnold Palmer Invitational going on. This event to me actually has a special meaning. So I used to live in Orlando. I would go to this event every year. Watch, it was just an amazing. I had so many memories. Of course, it was in the heyday of Tiger Woods. I lived on a lake, and I could drive my boat straight across the lake from my house. And I could bump into the 18th tee box at Bay Hill. That's where I lived in Orlando. So I'm a big fan of the Arnold Palmer, and it typically draws a pretty good field. Even after Arnold has passed away, he was amazing. I played at Bay Hill several times, and he played with the members there. Like you got at least two rounds a year with Arnold Palmer if you were a member at Bay Hill.
Yeah, I've heard about all that, and he was such a great man, and everybody who knew him and had interactions with him came away saying, "Wow, this guy is just a good person, and obviously a great champion, one of the greatest our country has produced." But I think he's one of the great people our country has produced as well.
Yeah, and I'm fascinated with these events. Because he was alive when I was there, and he was a part of it, and he's such an iconic, really figure in America in general, not sports withstanding, but and it was a great event, and I loved it. I look forward to it every year. Of course, there are now PGA, LPGA events here in Utah, and I was just curious, how are they perceived? What's the feeling, the vibe? This is just kind of a new thing here, but how are these new PGA and LPGA events being received in the golf world?
What a great question. It's a little too early to tell, just because there's only been one of those events take place. The PGA Tour event took place at Black Desert last fall. And the reaction to that was really positive. First of all, the visuals were stunning. You had those layers of color with the green and the white on the golf course, and then into the red rock and the black rock and the blue sky and the white clouds. It was just visually overwhelming, actually. Plus, the lava flows, the black rock, they were in play all the time. And there was an interesting statistical anomaly to come out of that tournament. It had the most penalty strokes of any tournament in the history of the PGA Tour. And even 200, but a whole bunch of penalty strokes. And, I was down there for most of the week, and I think that the players were taking really aggressive and somewhat unadvisable lines when they shouldn't, and they paid the price. Black Desert kicked them back.
Do the players like things like that? I mean, Because I know a lot of guys go, I play better on certain courses, certain types of grass. Is that potentially something that could be a deterrent, or do they go, well, I just need to learn how to play the course and the uniqueness of it and the challenges that it possesses? I mean, could you think about Open Championship courses and gorse bushes and some of the hazards there, and yet they're still a very desirable event to play in?
Absolutely. And, you get a variety of responses. In some, taken as a group, the response is positive. I think players understand something that was really encapsulated well by the great Hale Irwin, three-time U.S. Open champ, a Hall of Famer, right? And Irwin used to say, I love it when people complain about conditions because I know I don't have to worry about them. And that, I think that has really sunk in with people. And they realize, okay, we're all playing the same thing. Let's go. Let's saddle up and do our job. And then in terms of Black Desert, it is a different kind of experience, and people like having the opportunity to do something fun and something different. And this definitely accomplished that goal. Now, one thing you asked about the LPGA, that's a completely unknown yet, because the first of that will take place this coming May. And it'll be the first time, just like the men, first time in 60-some years that they're back in Utah. And so can't wait to see that happen. I can't wait to see the best women players in the world take on Black Desert and be right here in our state. And one thing we do know about when the LPGA Tour comes to Black Desert this May, the top players on the tour will be there. And that wasn't exactly the case for the PGA Tour because It was during the fall season. But the top players on the LPGA Tour will be at Black Desert in May. I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, it's really fun to go to an event. If you play golf at all and you just watch how great these players are and how it's just like their misses are great shots for most of us, and so it's a fun thing to see and to witness, and you're right. I mean, Black Desert, oh my goodness, it is just absolutely stunning, gorgeous. Would there ever be the potential of them moving the date of the event in St. George, or possibly even having an event in northern Utah?
More likely to move the date. That's something actually that we talked about with Tyler Dennis, who is the tournament director for the PGA Tour, and interestingly, he's a Utah guy. He went to Cottonwood High, but he said, that is a possibility that could be looked at in the future. Right now, they have a 5-year contract, so they're 1 year into a 5-year contract to be a part of the fall season, but it's on the table as things move forward. Yeah.
Speaking of changing dates, the PGA changed kind of its tournament schedule, realizing it's hard to compete with the NFL in the fall, but you like the changes, you like the PGA being changed, and even these tournaments leading up to the players and kind of to the PGA have certainly changed. Has that been a good thing? Has that been well received?
Yes, it has. And, actually, I've thought of you a little bit when this was all going down. I thought, Scott's got to be chuckling, thinking, yeah, they can't outdraw my Detroit Lions, right? So,
that's right.
It is a reality. Sports on TV are, the big dog in the room is the NFL. And so you have to adjust to that. I'd like to see a few more tournaments that are early in the week. The Korn Ferry Tour plays around with that a little bit, and that's a lot of fun. But the adjustments they've made in the PGA Tour schedule to recognize the strength of the NFL, especially as they get toward the playoffs, I just think that was smart, and recognizing the situation as it is.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, you're mentioning that about the NFL, and back in the days when I played, one of the time markers was anytime the Open Championship started. That's about the time you went back to training camp, and I love to watch it. And I've been over to Scotland and played in a lot of those courses for the rotation, and I think probably had my greatest moment in golf ever at St. Andrews, and I birdied the road hole at 17 at St. Andrews, and it's funny because you hit it over the corner of the hotel, right? And you have no idea, and you have a caddy, and he's telling you where to hit it, and so he goes, oh, that's going to be perfect, and I walked around the corner. And there were people at the Jigger Inn, right, that's been around since the 1500s, which is a little stone bar or pub, and it's right there on the grounds of the hotel. And there are probably 10 or 15 people there kind of lined along the area there, and they're standing and giving me an ovation, and they're clapping. And they yell out, "You're the first one to hit the fairway all day," And so so I thought, okay, I got a gallery here. And then I hit my second shot, really close. It was kind of a tough pin position, and I birdied the hole. And I'm telling you, Paul, I could have died right in that moment. And I walked. I didn't walk over this Swilken Bridge. My feet weren't even on the ground. I just floated over the Swilken Bridge. And so really, really cool moment. Love playing golf over there. So yeah, those times of year. And playing golf are certainly one, and which brings me to another question. Is there another? Well, why is it? I guess is the better question. The back nine on Sunday at the Masters. Why is that the best viewing event in all of sports? Because I love that the back nine on Sunday at Augusta.
Of course you do. We all do, right? And it's because Augusta is set up and brilliantly, masterfully so, designed by Alistair McKenzie and amended over the years to compress the field on the backside. There are holes that have just an absolute sliver of a margin of error, in particular number 12. And so you see so many times when the tournament that people are playing, they're playing well, and they get to number 12 and their tournament goes away. And we could sit here and talk for half an hour about all the times that's taken place. And then in addition to that, you've got holes that are very gettable, 13 and 15 in particular. But gettable though they are nonetheless still very difficult, and the margin of error, again, is small. And then the final hole, I don't think gets enough attention as it should. It is, the TV flattens it. It is really uphill. You cannot see the green from the fairway where the pin is on the front right, always on Sunday. And it is just something that always serves to compress the field with the combination of gettable holes and holes that have virtually no margin of error. And so that's why when it comes down to Sunday afternoon at Augusta, things get really tight and really fun.
I love it. It's coming up soon. That was one of the things I knew that Arnold Palmer was in. That just meant we weren't that far away from the Masters. So it'll be exciting to watch this year. Another event that I think is really exciting, and I think with the political climate that's happening in our country today with our neighbors to the south and to the north of us, and maybe across the pond a little bit, is the Ryder Cup. And of course, it's at Bethpage Black, right? And I can only imagine what the drama of that is going to be like, given the political climate of this year. What is your take on this year's Ryder Cup?
Well, it always was going to be intense. Look, it's the New York crowd, right? And it's even more so on Long Island. It was going to be a boisterous, noisy, highly energetic experience for everybody, regardless of what might be going on or not in the political world. But it will absolutely be ramped up this year, and there's no question. It will be just so much fun and so much intensity. when the Ryder Cup goes back to Bethpage. And it will be just made more intense by the fact that it's Bethpage freaking Black, for crying out loud. One of the greatest, one of the hardest courses there is. And, you look at players who have won on Bethpage, and they are great players. There's never any accident on Bethpage. There's nobody that wins there without having a very rich and sterling pedigree. And we're going to see Bethpage shine, and it's going to be very intense.
Hey, Paul, I really appreciate it. I could talk all day to you about golf. I mean, we've got so many exciting things. We've got golf coming here to the state of Utah with the LPGA and the PGA, and of course, we got all the great majors coming up, and then the Ryder Cup. So a lot of fun. Appreciate your time today. Hope you have a great rest of your Friday, and thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, there you have it. Paul Pugmire, who does Utah Golf Radio here on ESPN 792.1 FM. And that airs at what time, Porter? Is that, 9 in the morning?
8 to 10 each and every Saturday.
Yeah, so I was right in the middle, 9 o'clock, so 8 to 10 every Saturday. And he does a great job with that. So we're going to tune our attention here to our good friends at Culligan Water. We are, of course, at the Mountain America Expo here at the Salt Lake Home and Garden Show, and these guys have the purest, the best water in the world, and they have some amazing deals for you right now that you don't want to miss. Of course, Ken is going to share us this amazing offer, and I just want to encourage you to be really smart in your decisions and do this, okay? No strings attached. What do you got, Ken?
Yeah, thanks, Scott. You got your listeners that are probably about ready to head out of work. Come on down and see us. We'll test your water, stop by your house, get some of your water, bring it over here. But really quickly, give us a call. We've got a great offer, 801-509-9602. We've been talking about try us before you buy us, right? 3 months for free.
Insane.
We'll set it up. We'll install the system that's right for you for free for 3 months. I'll tell you what, I'm going to sweeten the deal.
Uh-oh. Oh, we like that.
If you call in the next 2 hours, we're going to give you $500 off a whole home water system.
What?
Plus free salt delivery for an entire year.
What?
You don't have to worry about hauling the salt. Our Colson here, the water boy, will carry it down into your basement, put it in the brine tank. And
that wasn't part of the deal before we got on here.
No.
Yeah.
No, I like this. This is good.
Yeah, but here's the deal. You got to call us right now. 801-509-9602. You get to try us before you buy us, right, for 3 months. $500 off the whole home water system plus free salt delivery for a year.
Okay, that is insane.
Our
right?
accountant's going to hate us.
It's insane, but it's also a very affordable thing to begin with. I mean, you're under $1 a day, so people, you need to understand, water is such a part of our lives. How we use it, how we drink it, we live with it all the time. We cannot live without water. Like, you have to have water, and to be able to get a system in your home and do it, try it out, and it's not going to cost you anything. And they're throwing in these amazing deals. I mean, just the salt for a year is just like. Can I call you guys? Am I allowed to call you guys?
You're allowed.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It's open to everybody.
Yeah, please call 801-509-9602. Okay, all water is not the same, right? And you guys have been doing this forever. So why should people trust you, and why is water not the same?
Look, we are the trusted name in water filtration. Culligan pioneered the water filtration industry. We've been around since 1928. That's almost 100 years. I am a third-generation Culligan man. This is a family business. This is what we do. Everything that water touches, we can be part of, and that's, again, all we do. We focus on water, whether that's your drinking water, whether that's your water softening, whether that's 5-gallon delivery for your home or business, or salt delivery to make sure that your system is being maintained. We provide expert service. We provide expert water filtration specialists, and we have a customer service team that's unmatched.
So I did my 23andMe, and I got a notification in an email that said, on my genetics, it says I am not. I'm not going to be afraid of heights. Like, that's my genetic markers, and I'm just thinking of you. you've been doing this so many generations that your genetic DNA is just water,
That's
right?
right.
It's the best water you can absolutely have, is because you've been doing this.
Just like you're not scared of heights, I am not scared to provide the best water filtration to Utah and Utah homeowners. Look, one of the biggest things that we get calls about is people are concerned about what's in their water. People are uneducated about what's actually in their water. Let us come out. Let us educate you. Let us do it for free, right? No obligation to buy, free consultation, right? It's hassle-free, it's affordable, and water problems are today's problems. They're not tomorrow's issues. They are today's problems, and we can solve those for you.
Yeah, and they've got a lot of other cool things, an amazing app. This under $1 a day, incredible offer that you guys are providing for people. So call right now. You're going to get 3 for free months, no obligation. They'll come out, they'll test your water. You'll know. And I think, to me, that's just an awesome thing, to have that peace of mind. And because I know people that have had issues with water, that they develop cancer from some of their water, and so they're it's a real thing, and our health is so important, and water plays a big part in it. You're going to get it free for 3 months. Call right now. Plus, you get a $500 discount
off the whole home system.
Off the whole system, because you're going to want it. You're going to keep it. And they do this for under $1 a day, and they're going to bring the salt to your house free for an entire year. Call them, 801-509-9602. Thank you, guys. This is amazing. We're going to be back here in just a minute. I believe we have Tyson Ewing, who's going to come on next. We're out here at the Mountain America Expo at the Home and Garden Show, here with the great folks at Culligan Water. You got to do the deal, people. I promise you. Call them. 801-509-9602. All right. This is The Drive with Spence Checketts. I'm Scott Mitchell, filling in for Spence today. We'll take a little break, come back, and we're going to talk to Tyson Ewing about a little basketball up on the hill. We'll catch you in just a minute. Hello, sports fans. Welcome back. It is The Drive with Spence Checketts. I'm Scott Mitchell filling in for Spence today. It is Fun Friday. It is Football Friday. It is ESPN 700, 92.1 FM. Of course, proud to be a part of Utah's ESPN Sports Network. We got stations everywhere. And you know what? I show up on a few of them on a daily basis, and I'm having a good time talking about sports, having a good time being here. We are at the Mountain America Credit, or not the Mountain America Expo Center. Sorry about that. You may need credit for some of the things they have here. It's the Home and Garden Show. If you want tickets, go to the homeandgardenshow.com. I am specifically in the Culligan Water booth, and these guys are amazing, and they have the best solution for the best water you could possibly have for all of your water needs. You want to check them out. They've got some screaming, unbelievable deals. They will set up a system in your house for free. No obligations, no strings attached for 3 months. Try it out. They'll also give you $500 toward a system if you choose to keep the system, and they'll give you free salt for a year. So deliver it right to your house, boom. And it's not a better deal. Water is our life. Without water, we do not exist. So come down, say hello. We also have our bracket challenge here, the ESPN 700, ESPN The Fan $1 Million Bracket Challenge. You just click your phone on the QR code, and you get signed up. And March Madness is happening, and Madness is happening here at the Home and Garden Show. Right now, speaking of Madness, Tyson Ewing, of course, he is the play-by-play man of the hour for the Utah women's basketball program, and a longtime Jazz data analyst. And he's even been up in the booth a few times when I've been doing my duties. We all do our duties, right? Broadcasting games. I'm the color analyst for Utah football. And Tyson teaches me everything. He fills me in all the stats, everything I need to know. Tyson, welcome to the program. How you doing?
Man, I'm impressed that you knew all that. I'm so excited to be here with you. How are you, Scott?
Oh, gosh. Well, I love to talk about sports. I love, being associated with the folks at Broadway Media and of course, filling in for Spence today on the drive. And things are good. I'm at the Home and Garden Show. I don't know if you ever go to it. I'm here with the Culligan Water people, and they got some amazing stuff going on. Just really fun. But it's a fun environment out here.
That's awesome. No,
yes.
I've never been myself, but definitely something that I'm sure is extremely fun to be at. I'm just sorry I can't be there with you in person.
It's all the gadgets and toys and things you need for your house. Some of them maybe you don't need, but some of them, like Culligan Water, you definitely need it. But some other things, they're kind of fun. So I have to ask you this question: how fun is it to call a buzzer beater from half court against your rival? I mean, did I hear some just insane passion come out of your voice?
Oh, my goodness. Yes, there was definitely a lot of passion, no doubt about that. I obviously was not expecting that, nor was anybody in the building expecting that to fall. But, I was definitely in my own excitement level. And when that went through, goodness gracious, I think everybody in the building could have heard me with how high I got with my vocal cords. But incredible, to be honest. I loved it, as you could tell from just how excited I got. But extremely excited for her. And then meeting with her afterwards, I tell you what, Scott, meeting with her afterwards, she was the most humble person on the planet. Here I am just trying to hype her up, say, Maddie, I can't believe you just hit that shot. How does that feel? And she's like, I'm just happy I could do it for my teammates. And I'm like, okay, you just exude humility right here. Incredible stuff. But overall, Scott, so cool. A great opportunity, and obviously doing it, like you said, against the BYU Cougars. Amazing.
Yeah, it's fascinating to watch this rivalry for me. It's been around a long time, and it's never been at a level that it is now. In Power 4 conferences, you're competing against each other in all these different sports, and the most fascinating thing to me is it certainly makes victories seem greater and defeats seem worse. Excuse me. Wow, I had something go down the wrong tube there, Tyson.
You say inhale, exhale.
Yeah,
you got
right.
this. I got you.
I'm getting so emotional about this rivalry thing. It's just like, tearing up my eyes. But it's it's one, so like the football season this last year was just it was such a heartbreaking season. But if I'm being completely candid, it was worse because the folks down south were having such a great year, and I have to it brings out a different intensity to your association with the conference, to your rival, and I wonder if it brings out a desire to, hey, we don't want to lose to these guys, so we need to up our game.
I honestly believe all of that, and here's why. I mean, you're seeing perfect examples of that all throughout sports this year. You think about the football game that you were calling. Utah was not having a good year. They did not have a good year. BYU having a tremendous year, and they go and they have a chance to win that football game. And, some of us on the Utah side definitely think it should have gone one way, but it ended up not going that way. But Utah raised their game to play against BYU because of how badly they wanted to win that game. You then fast forward to the men's basketball game, to where, in all honesty, Utah kind of a little bit struggling. That's a severe understatement, I'll say that, but struggling on the basketball floor. BYU, on the other hand, especially now, winning 7-8 straight games now, somehow Utah was able to really focus in at the Huntsman Center and get the job done in overtime. Sure, it was an ugly game with free throws and all that not dropping, but you think of how the Utah men were able to raise their level of play. And even on the women's side, BYU is having a down year. I'll say that very softly. They're not very good this year. But both times that the women's team played BYU this year, they were excellent games. Obviously, the overtime game, the half-court buzzer beater at the Huntsman Center, Utah struggled to shoot the basketball in that game. Then the one down at the Marriott Center, a game that at the time Utah was playing very good basketball. BYU was not playing very good basketball, and they brought everything to that game, and to the point where the ladies for BYU actually had a chance late in that game. And so just to kind of sum it all up, I mean, those are just some examples of sporting events just this year to show that while you might not be having good seasons, everybody who plays those sports and plays against those, the BYU Cougars from Utah, everybody in that rivalry game brings it every single time they play that game. And again, just perfect examples of it this year. I love the rivalry. So extremely excited that it's back in conference and that we can talk about it every single year rather than, talk about it out of conference, especially on the football side where we didn't play for so many years. Just extremely happy to have it back. And, you definitely love to hate each other is really the best way to word that. You obviously played in the rivalry game when you were playing at college. You played BYU, so I know you have a certain amount of hatred for that program. So you obviously can speak to it a little bit more than I could, but goodness, I'm, again, just so happy that it's back.
Yeah, I am too, and I think rivalries are such a great part of college sports and sports in general. It brings out the best. You really, you just don't want to lose, and so you figure out how to get it done. The women, of course, had an early exit from the Big 12 championship. Surprising, what went on there, and what does this mean moving forward for the NCAA tournament?
So, I would definitely say surprising in the sense that, Texas Tech came into that game 14 seed in the Big 12 tournament, a team that only won 4 games total in conference play. We did play them in Lubbock, and it was a tough game, a game that Utah kind of had to crawl and scrape just to get the victory down there. So we knew that it was going to be at least a tougher game than it probably would have been had Kansas had won that game in their first-round matchup. So we came in, at least us broadcasters, Miley and myself, came in expecting it to be a tough game. Utah historically has struggled with pressure, with ball pressure, especially in the full court. And while they didn't turn the ball over in the full court press, it felt as though Utah, when they crossed half court, were just completely out of sorts the entire game against Texas Tech yesterday, to where it took them a long time to get into their offense. And this is a team that wants to get moving quickly, and they just, for some reason, couldn't do it. A lot of stagnation where the ball was just being moved around the horn. not a lot of attacking the basket, especially in the second half. And the best way I could word it is that Texas Tech dictated every single part of that game yesterday, especially the second quarter, where Utah couldn't hit anything. Texas Tech kind of found some rhythm. Then in the second half, Utah was starting to find their offense but couldn't get stops. Texas Tech went 7 of 10 in the third quarter, and by then it was a little bit too late for Utah to crawl back. They made some efforts late, but things just didn't go their way. And in all honesty, I believe now, at least in my opinion, with this loss to a team that should have beaten, I believe that Utah was kind of flirting with that 6, potential 7 line on the NCAA tournament. I believe that with that loss, they're probably going to drop to an 8-9 spot, which means that in the women's side, the way that it works is the 16 seeds host the first and second round of the NCAA tournament. So what that would mean is if they're in that 8 slot, Utah would get an 8-9 matchup, and then they would then play the potential number 1 seed at their home place. So the way you could look at this is, let's just hypothetically say UCLA is the team that hosts. We go to UCLA. We would then have to play the Bruins at Pauley Pavilion for a chance to advance to the Sweet 16.
Wow.
Well, you could look at that and say, that might be a little unfair because they're already, they're already the better team and getting the opportunity to host their own, postseason tournament matchup. We learned that last year with Gonzaga, that home court advantage for Gonzaga as the 4 seed definitely helped them last year.
Yeah.
You know what? That's just the way that the women's game happens. And, with that loss, I feel that we fall into that 8-9 spot to potentially having to play a number 1 seed. We're not going to find out till Selection Sunday, which is in about 9 days from now. The NCAA tournament for the women starts up exactly 2 weeks from today. So Utah has a nice long break to where they need to kind of get things right because they have lost 3 of their last 5 games. Their last 3 games have not been good for them, especially on the offensive side of the basketball. All 3 games shooting below 40%, so a lot to work on as they gear up for a hopeful postseason tournament, NCAA tournament run starting up in 2 weeks.
So, Gavin Peterson, your assessment, new coach, first year, what did you think?
So Gavin obviously kind of came into a situation to where I would call it a good situation in the sense that he was already part of the program, has been a part of the program for the last 10 years with Lynn Roberts. And when Lynn got the opportunity to go to the WNBA, obviously she took that because she gets to coach at the highest level.
Has that been a good move for her? Do you like that move?
I believe it has. I believe it has been, yes. I've actually talked to her a few times ever since that took place, and in her own words, how can you not take it, right? So it's been a good transition for her. Obviously, there's not a lot going on other than her trying to go out, not really recruit, but try to find players to bring into the franchise and try to get things running for when May kicks around and then when they start their training camp and everything like that. So I feel that she's done a tremendous job so far in kind of indoctrinating herself. In fact, the GM for the LA Sparks was actually at the game on Saturday against BYU, so she's obviously trying to show her how great Utah athletics is as well. So from that standpoint, awesome. But then from the Gavin standpoint, these players were already bought in. These players were already ready to play for a coach, and when Gavin Peterson stepped in, it felt super seamless. And I feel as though it's gone extremely well. Obviously, these last 5 games haven't been great, but as an overall season, I would absolutely say that it's been very successful, and Utah should be extremely happy to have Gavin at the helm for the foreseeable future.
So what does a $14 million gift mean for the women's sports program up on the Hill?
I think what that means, I'm definitely no expert in kind of, where the money will be dispersed. But what that means is it gives women the opportunity to be able to use that fundage and hopefully grow their sports, because this is obviously the women's sports are continually growing. Gymnastics has been massive at the University of Utah for so many years. But that's been really the only program that has been consistently attracting fans, and so I believe that this gift will be an opportunity for the women's programs to hopefully bring more eyes to them. And again, not quite an expert, but excited to see where that $14 million will be dispersed and how the women's programs can continue to grow at Utah.
Hey, Tyson, really appreciate you tuning in and joining us today. It's always fun to catch up and talk to you. And I have a feeling that maybe this longer break here might get a reset, and that these women go on a long old run through the NCAA tournament. So have a great rest of your Friday, and thanks for coming on.
Wonderful. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate you, brother. You
got it. All right, there you go, Tyson Ewing. He's the play-by-play voice of women's basketball at the University of Utah. He's a longtime data analyst, stat guy for the Utah Jazz. So and an all-around good guy. All right, we're here at the Mountain America Expo. We are at the Culligan Water booth, and I have Colson and Kent here, and a machine just showed up. But before we get to that machine, these Culligan Water, of course, everyone knows what Culligan Water is. It's been around for almost 100 years. Yep. Got offices everywhere here in the state of Utah, and they do a great job. Water's king, it's queen, it's princess and prince and all those things. You guys got some amazing deals going on. I want to hear the deal first, and then I want to talk about this. Like a machine just showed up, and it's an amazing machine. I want one. And everyone's going to want one, but you're going to want this deal right here. What do you got, Kent?
Yeah, absolutely. We're confident in our products, right? We manufacture our products. They're Culligan products. We're so confident in them that we're going to give you the opportunity to try out our products for free for 3 months.
Amazing.
We'll come out. You got to give us a call today. So call now, 801-509-9602. Call us, set up an appointment. We'll come, test your water, tell you about our products. We'll install them. You can use them for free for 3 months and buy into the fact that this is the best product, the best water that you can have. If you call in the next hour, I'll sweeten the deal.
Nice.
If you call in the next hour, I'll give you $500 off the whole home system. Plus, we'll do free salt delivery for an entire year.
Insane.
No more haul and salt.
No more haul and salt.
Yes.
I think that's a deterrent for a lot of people.
Yeah,
and a drawback. I don't think people understand why salt is important, and you of course have an app that actually manages and where the salt should be, when it should be, where it should be, if you're running low, whatever. So people, you don't have to worry about this. It'll manage itself, and you can know and feel confident that you have a water system that's giving you the best quality water for all of your needs, whether it's washing your dishes and getting rid of that hard water, or whether it's having amazing drinking water that's very healthy for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we have best in the industry products. Like you said, we have smart connected technology that will alert you if your salt levels are low, or if there's unnecessary water usage in your home. You can set water level marks, so if you use too much water, it will alert you if you have a running toilet, or if your water heater is running, or if something's wrong, your system will actually alert you, and so you can mitigate that damage. And we've got an awesome product here.
Crazy thing, it just showed up on a big dolly here, and it just tell me what it is.
So this is an inline water cooler, so you get the quality of a 5-gallon water jug, filtered in, unlimited, on demand. It has ice making capabilities. It has hot water capabilities for your cup of noodles and for your hot chocolates and your teas. It has cooling technology, and this thing is the sweetest product on the market today.
Oh my!
Awesome.
It looks incredible. So you could set this up in an office. So many people are have water, and they bring water. They have their thermoses. They have their cups, whatever they have, and you want to know like. I can get a great source of water in a very convenient way, and it'll actually go through and do all of the. Is it reverse?
It'll filter
the whole thing. Wow,
yep.
That's incredible. It looks very cool. Not only do they do this for you, but you guys okay? I've read all this. You've told me this. Help me understand this. Under $1 a day, that's what it costs to have the very best water you could possibly have in your life.
If you want the safest, purest, cleanest water in Utah, call us today. Let us come out. Let us test your water. Let us give you the right products for you and your family to protect your home and your family. 801-509-9602, or you can visit us online at culliganslc.com. Let us come out, schedule a consultation today. You can try this stuff for free.
Yeah, whether that's the office drinking water,
really?
the 5-gal,
oh my goodness,
the softener. Yeah.
Just try it out.
Just
got to do it, people. Look, water is not the same in Utah. Okay, your water in Bountiful is different than it is in Harriman or anywhere. They'll come out, they'll test it, they'll get you dialed into the right system. You can have confidence to know that I'm getting the best water, and you can get it for free for 3 months. Try it out. Why not? It's an incredible deal. 801-509-9602. It's Culligan Water. All right, thanks, guys. We'll check in with you again here, I think, one more time before we leave. You got to check them out, people. Serious, it's just a no-brainer. There's no obligation, and you want to do it. Water is so important in our lives. All right, this is The Drive with Spence Checketts. I'm Scott Mitchell. We're here on ESPN 700, 92.1 FM. Sean Mooney, the color analyst for for University of Utah basketball. Sean will give me a hard time about that one. Anyways, he's going to join us next. We're going to compare notes here as the color analyst for all these great teams. So stick around. We'll be back in just a sec. Hello, sports fans. Welcome back. It is The Drive with Spence Checketts. I'm Scott Mitchell filling in for Spence. It's a Friday. It's a fun Friday. It's a football Friday. It's a basketball Friday. It's a sports Friday here on ESPN 700 92.1 FM. It's also Friday of the Home and Garden show here at Mountain America Expo Center. It's also a Water Friday. So we're here with the folks from Culligan Water. Stop by, say hello. We're going to be here for a bit longer, and they have the best water solutions in the world, and they're so confident in their process and their products that they will give them to you for free for 3 months, so you can try them out. And they put their money where their mouth is. All you got to do is call them 801-509-9602, 801-509-9602. Having a lot of fun. We've talked about a lot of things today, and we've talked to a lot of people. But right now, we're going to talk to Sean Mooney, who is the color analyst for Utah Ute basketball. Sean, welcome to the show. How are you?
Scott Mitchell, good to hear your voice, man. I was listening to you earlier. I love that you just make Friday your football Friday. And it's amazing to listen to you, man.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I have a brief message for you. Doc says to say hello. So
I love that. Is Doc out there right now?
Yes, he is. He's smiling and laughing. Of course, he has a headset on. He's wearing it backwards, so he won't talk into the mic. He's buying Girl Scout cookies and doing all kinds of fun stuff. Anyways, he wanted to say hello.
Is he in his mankini?
Yeah, a little bit. Okay. He's a little conservative right now.
Make sure the garden show lets him back in. Okay.
You got it. All right. I think he's only allowed to go to certain places around here. I don't know what that means, but he's limited in what he can do. Some crazy things happening, of course, up on the Hill. And new coach, Alex Jensen. Tell me what people should expect. Tell me about Alex Jensen, who he is, and why should we – it seems like folks are really excited about this.
Yeah, I mean, goodness gracious. I would say that ever since Coach Majerus left University of Utah, other than Tommy Connor on Larry Kraskowiak's staff, we haven't had a direct connection, arguably, to Rick Majerus. And now we do. I mean, and Alex Jensen is as direct a connection as you can possibly get. I mean, I think everybody out there in Utah men's basketball land that have been cheering for Utah men's basketball for many decades are extremely excited. We know what he was as a player, obviously, really talented, a glue guy, important. And then as a coach, I think we've been able to establish that, his accolades are following him into this job. Not only with the Jazz, but with the Dallas Mavericks, in his time with the Canton G League team, where I think he was the coach of the year, Scott.
Right. Yeah, it's fascinating to see about culture, right? And people that understand a great culture certainly has a lot of that. I'm curious, like, in the world of college sports right now, and the emphasis on money, right? What is my NIL deal going to be, and like how much of culture, how much understanding of the past plays into having these players buy into a program, because like BYU, for example, has a culture on top of the culture is. They attract those LDS athletes, and that's part of what their culture is. But there is a real culture and a tradition at Utah with basketball, and how much of an importance is that culture, and having a coach who understands it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important. I mean, I think you and I would both agree that when we were student athletes, we spent a lot of time together, not you and I specifically, but football, basketball, the female sports, like most of the women's sports. We went to parties together. We went to class together. That created part of the culture. And then obviously when Rick Majerus came to Utah, he was an extension of some other great coaches that were prior to him. and he created his own culture, and we know what that was, right? It was shot selection, great shot selection. You don't turn the ball over. You out-rebound teams, and you basically take away what they want to do from an offensive standpoint. Maybe they get to option 3 if they're lucky. And so I think you're going to see Alex obviously is his own person. He's coached with Rick Majerus, right, at St. Louis. He knows more about Rick probably than many people because of that experience post-college. And then he's got other influencers that are going to help him create his own culture. To me, Alex seems more quiet. And, I think you're going to see someone who is not so loquacious as a Majerus, but someone who has the same intent and intensity that Majerus had, if not more so. And certainly he's bringing Utah back to Utah. Not only does he bleed red, but he's from Utah, which arguably is an important factor for, I think, the Utah fans. What do you think?
No, I totally agree, and I'm a big fan of culture and understanding it, and it is. I think it's something that you can't ignore, and you can't just make this about, okay, this is professional sports now, and we're all about just the money, and we're just here for just the money aspect of it. So I really think that having that culture and having someone who is willing to incorporate it and understand it and has a history with it, I think they're, how much of an influence is it? I don't think it's everything, but I think it's a component. It's one of those pillars of success that you could attach to it. I also wonder, because how much of an NBA style of coaching, how much of that translates to the college game, and is it more than it used to be? Is it less? Is it what's that balance of, all right, this is how we do it in the pros, and I'm going to try to implement it here in college?
Well, I think there are a couple of things, and I'll definitely address that. I just thought about something while you were talking. You spurred my mind.
Ooh.
Culture is – thank you. It doesn't take much. Culture is what your team does, right? So you can talk about culture till you're blue in the face, but, what do we know about the Houston Cougars? We know they have a culture of oppressive defense. They're going to take things away from you. I think that's what Alex Jensen's going to bring. He's going to bring his stamp of what that is, and you're going to know more about our culture based on what you see our team do. And then as far as the NBA, I'm watching BYU a lot, right? Because I'm prepping for BYU, and I'm listening to Kevin Young. And I thought the jury was out early on. I think it's hard to come from the NBA to the college ranks.
Yeah.
You don't have the same talent level, obviously. You have to make up for that in other ways. Certainly, the defensive in the NBA is much more suited to offense because they keep you on 1/3 of the court, which I think fans in Utah understand that. And in college, you don't do that, so you can be more schematic in how you approach the game. I don't think that the players aren't as fast, as athletic, don't shoot it as well. Often you see a couple players that don't shoot it as well. So the college game is definitely different, but I think it's also, to me, it's a little more interesting because of that, because you have to make up for some of those deficiencies, as it were, or players that aren't going to play at the highest level, and you can get the most out of them. And I think Josh Grant talked about this a lot when he was on Spence. He said, we need role players, and that's true. But that really has to do with your culture also. But I think, Alex's his ability to communicate with his athletes, his student athletes, and help them understand teaching, right? We both know that. I think that's the difference maker, and that's what really helps you bring a team together and create alchemy. Not necessarily chemistry, but you change into something that's bigger than just a team, which could be culture.
When you're talking about this, it kind of spurred my mind too, which doesn't take a whole lot.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah. So when you talk about, this whole, there's not the same talent level of the next level. And when I coached high school football, it was one of the things I noticed almost immediately. And it wasn't so much the talent level, but it was like how I saw the game. Like, and I realized like, oh, they don't see it like I see it,
Right.
you know. And I go, so so I can't teach it to them like I see it,
Right.
you know. And so you have to adjust to things, but. We did some really fun things that we did in the NFL, like schematically and reading defenses and how we did, you know, and there was a significant level of sophistication with what we did, and I was able to teach them a pretty high level of sophistication and you know, and sound principles and things. But certainly didn't expect them to see or play or react to the game like I did, and so tried to put them in this kind of spot where they could really do and flourish the best they possibly could at their level of understanding, and it was magical. It was really cool to see players respond to this and actually be a part of it. I'm curious.
That's the joy, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Oh no, 100%. Yeah, it's. I'm a big fan of being a coach. Like it's very, very exciting, and satisfying and rewarding. I'm curious. Speaking of NBA experience, how much of an impact do you think that is? You know, I know the number one, the top recruit in the country ends up at BYU, and a lot of it is because of Kevin Young's experience. Would you anticipate that as a Utah fan and supporter that, you know, there can be an attraction for Alex Jensen to bring, you know, talent to Utah based on his experience in the NBA as a coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, come on. Like, the reality is when Rick Majerus took the job, he was coming from Ball State, but he coached, you know, he played in Marquette and coached, was under Al McGuire, and then was coaching with Don Nelson, Del Harris, George Karl, coming from the NBA. And he was, you know how Coach Majerus was very blunt. He told you exactly what he felt about your ability and whether or not you had an ability, and he was an identifier of talent at a high level.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, when you're coming from the NBA, you definitely, I mean, listen, I was talking to Phil Colin, who works at San Antonio, a week ago, and we were talking about this very thing, about how you identify talent. I mean, they have yards and yards of information on college athletes at that level. My guess is Alex Jensen has a pretty good understanding of who is in the transfer portal, if they're in the transfer portal, and or who could play at the next level. So I think absolutely that will be one of his strengths, just like Coach Majerus' strength.
So you talk about culture. We talk about a coach's experience in the NBA, and that has a lot of significance. What other things is it going to take to get this program where everyone expects and believes it can be?
Yeah, I mean, the very first thing is I believe the University of Utah, Taylor Randall, the Board of Trustees, Mark Harlan, Charmel Green, they're all involved in this hire. I think they won the presser. And just winning the presser is a big deal. Everybody, I think, mostly everybody has been waiting for Utah alumni to take over this program, one in which they can see the past and the future. And so I think that's a lot of pressure personally. I mean, I want Coach Alex to have the absolutely fantastic tenure, go down in history, do everything, you know, the way he sees fit in this program and have the program succeed. But it's a lot of pressure. So I think, number one, you win the presser. Number two, I think there's automatic interest right now in coming out to see what can happen with Coach Jensen. And then, you know, I really think it takes, Scott, tell me if you agree with this, I think it takes, like, spending time with donors, with boosters, being available for fans, creating, you know, a new, unique connection that draws not only on the past, but on the present and maybe what would be the future.
Yeah, because I think one of those pillars is you gotta have an investment from the donor side of this, you know, and I really wonder. I'm sure Alex, in considering this job, he's a pretty good deal in the NBA, you know, and I know that money has to be a part of this, and And I would believe he got those assurances. But to your point about, being accessible and going out and selling yourself and selling the program and doing it to people who are going to, put money in and invest in you. I know that was a big thing Urban Meyer, when he came to Utah. He got on tracks and rode up and down tracks, and he was an up and coming coach. And so that willingness to kind of do whatever you got to do, roll up your sleeves, go out and, grassroots this thing and garner excitement and interest and let people talk to you and be accessible and hear your voice and hear your passion. And it's certainly one of those things. Speculation on assistants. Who are those hot assistants? Andre Miller's name comes up. What do you know about potential assistants and what kind of impact that has?
I mean, I know nothing. But if you tell me that Andre Miller is coming
nothing
under this staff, I mean, come on. That's a 1-2 punch that you couldn't beat. Talk about bringing back probably one of the most. I don't know if Andre Miller may be the most popular Utah basketball player that has ever played for so many reasons. He's kind. His story, what he did in the NBA, 16-year career in the NBA. I mean, come on. I feel like if that were to happen, if Alex were to offer that job, Coach Ness were to offer that job and Andre took it, that's a great 1-2 punch. And then beyond that, just talk about the current staff, which we all know is so tough because when the head coach gets fired, the staff kind of stop talking about them. Coach Eilert has done an unbelievable job, as has Tyler Larson. I mean, listen, Coach Evans, they've had a really good staff. I really like Coach Eilert. I like his experience at this level. He coached under Bob Huggins, among others. He was at West Virginia for 17 years. He's doing a great job with the kids now. Maybe you retain a coach if you can, and that's something that works for you. And then I'm always going to give this is my guy, and he's not ever going to, he did not say this to me. This is only me. And I don't think he's coming back because he's happy. But I'm always giving Tommy Connor a shout-out because he is the best coach. Coach Connor, Tommy Connor. He's coaching at University of Washington right now under Sprinkle. They had a tough year. He's the best coach that I know that's not named Rick Majerus.
Wow. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds and what happens because, you talk about winning the presser and the optics of like we have a powerhouse lineup of coaches here and can go a long way in where everything goes. One last question here, so first year in the Big 12 Conference, it's a conference that's known for its basketball prowess and certainly some big names and big programs, and it's murderer's row every week. Of course, you got this last game against BYU coming up. And what's your sense of where Utah is? And is this like how surmountable of a mountain is this for this program to turn it around and be competitive and compete for championships?
We used to have 20 families. It's dwindled down.
Number one, we were picked 16th this year, 16th, right?
Yeah.
And we have 8. We won 8 games, and I mean, listen, I think BYU is better than we are, but we got them at home, and we always know the game could be a wild card. They're better, but we're good. We did a good job this year. I think we exceeded expectations personally.
Yeah.
I think it is a fantastic conference. It suits what could be Alex Jensen's style, meaning, playing defense with the chip on your shoulder, not letting people freely go where they want to go, that sort of thing. Because it is a black and blue conference, man. You have got to be prepared to be strong with the ball because they're going to come through you and the refs aren't going to call it. I love it. It reminds me of when we played back in the day when it felt like you could, do damage and not get called for a foul. But I think we can absolutely be successful, and you can for many reasons. But the number one reason, Scott, is because you get quad 1 games every week.
Yep.
So
right. Yeah.
you have good success early in the year, and you can win 12 games, 13, 14 games. You're going to the tournament, which is the bar. We know that's the bar for Utah men's basketball to do that regularly.
Very good stuff. I'm really excited about what Alex brings and where this could go, and I'm sure you are as well. Really, always fun to talk to you, Sean, and hope you have a fantastic, fun football Friday. The rest of the day here, you deserve it. Okay, you go out and have a good time for yourself.
You too, my brother.
All right, be good. Yeah, we'll see you. All right, there you have it. Sean Mooney, of course, he's the color analyst for the Running Utes basketball program. Got a new head coach. Folks are pretty pumped up about it. It'll be fun to watch and see where this goes. Right now, we're at the Mountain America Expo Center at the Salt Lake Home and Garden show, and with the folks at Culligan Water. And they have some amazing solutions. They have the best solution. There is none better for your water system in your home, for your water when you do your dishes, you do your laundry, you shower, and also all of your drinking water. Every purpose you need for water, they have you covered. And they're so confident in their process and their program that Kent is going to tell us the amazing deal that Culligan Water has because they're so confident in what they do and what they bring.
Yeah, we're running a great special right now for the home show. We're confident in our product, and we're confident that you're going to love your Culligan Water. So if you call us today, we'll come out to your house, set up an appointment, come out to your house, test your water, set you up with the right equipment that you want to protect your home and family. We'll give you that system for free for 3 months.
Incredible.
To try it.
Amazing.
And then at the end of the process, then you're a part of our group. You're a part of our family. We'll give you that 3 months for free. Try it before you buy it. I'm also doing a great offer for the next hour and a half, but you got to call right now, 801-509-9602. If you call before the end of the show today, we'll give you $500 off a whole home water system, plus free salt delivery for a year.
It's incredible. You really need to do this. There is no obligation, okay? You just test it out. Try it. Water is a very interesting thing here in Utah. Water is not the same no matter where you live. And even if your city does a really good job of making sure you have good, water, there's still things that get in our water and kind of cloud the situation. So try it out. And again, they're so confident that you're going to love this. You're going to see a difference. You're going to feel a difference. It is different.
And so,
right, the whole thing. Speaking of that, why is water not the same everywhere?
There's a bunch of different reasons why water is different from municipality to municipality. Let us come out and educate you, right? Let us come out, let us test your water. We'll do it for free. We'll be a consultant for you, and then we'll let you know. You can make a great decision for you, your family, for your household, right, for your home to protect all your appliances, all your fixtures, and there's no obligation to do it, right? So give us a call, 801-509-9602, or visit us at culliganslc.com. You can learn all about Culligan. We've been around since 1928.
Yeah.
I am a third-generation Culligan man. Some people call me the water boy. I respect my elders. My dad is the Culligan man, right? So I can be the water boy. And it's been a fun family business for a long time, right? We're hydrating you, Scott. Hopefully you feel healthy, hydrated, and more mentally clear than you've ever felt in your life, right?
I wouldn't have been able to do the show.
Yeah, we can do that for all your listeners as well. Just give us a call, 801-509-9602, or visit us at culliganslc.com. We've got the world's greatest products, right? We've got the most efficient water softener on the market. We do the salt delivery for you. You don't have to worry about whether you have salt in your tank or not. Do you have salt in your water softener tank,
Well,
Scott?
let me tell you, Larry came out. And he was great. And so from Culligan Water, and he tested my water, and he tested how everything was. And he goes, you've got hard water here. It does massive damage to things. And he talked through some of the challenges of having hard water and not having salt and what it meant. And there was a lot of passion in what he was talking about. And I was educated. I mean, there were a lot of things I didn't know. Water is so much a part of our life, and you want to make sure that you're drinking the best water you possibly can. You're also using water for other purposes that maximize the life of products, that actually make your laundry better, make you feel better, your skin, all these things. And it's so valuable and so important. But I was just so impressed with his passion for what you're doing. And I love your confidence and your belief in Culligan and your product, because it's truly remarkable. It's an incredible deal for people. I mean, really, you really have to try this. Call 801 905 or sorry 801 509 9602 801 509 9602. 3 free months. 3 free months. Try it out at no obligation, and then they're going to give you $500 off a system because you guys are so confident you know they're going to want the system, and they're going to, so you're going to give money off and free salt delivery.
Our
for you.
accountant is going to hate us.
And that's what we love to do. We love the accountants to hate us, but you want to treat your customers right, and
That's
do, and you've been around for a long time. All right, we're going to catch you again here in another half an hour, but really appreciate all you're doing, and people do this. You got to call them. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Yep. So we're going to turn the corner here. It is the Drive with Spence Checketts here on ESPN 792.1 FM. Stick around. Sports fans, welcome back. It is The Drive with Spence Checketts. I'm Scott Mitchell filling in for Spence. He's out for the day. We're on ESPN 792.1 FM. Of course, we're so proud to be a part of the Utah ESPN Sports Network. Right now we're out at Mountain America Expo Center here at the Salt Lake Home and Garden Show. We're here with the folks from Culligan Water. Been here all day. It's been so much fun. Really appreciated this. I had a great education when Larry came over to my house about my water. We're definitely going to take you up on this offer and do this. It's an incredible deal you've got going on here. Water is so important in our lives, and you want to provide a water system for people that is the best in the market, but also you've got a screaming deal right now people got to take advantage of.
Yes, thanks, Scott. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with you today. We're we're getting to the end of the day. Everybody's on their way home, and we're excited to give this offer for the last time today. If you call us, we've got a fantastic deal. We're confident in our products. We want you to try it before you buy it. We're willing to let you do that for 3 months. 3 months for free. We'll come, test your water, get the right system for you, install a system, no obligation for 3 months. But you got to call today, 801-509-9602, or you can reach us at ColliganSLC.com. I'll tell you what, I'll even sweeten the deal. $500 a whole home system.
Nice.
$500 off.
Very cool.
Plus, we'll give you a free salt delivery for a year.
1 year.
No hauling salt down in your basement. We'll take it to your brine tank, fill it up, top it off for you for an entire year. But you got to call now, 801-509-9602.
Beautiful. You got to take advantage of this offer. I mean, it's just an incredible deal. No obligation. Try it out. Water is so important. It's such a vital part of our life. You guys, though, have been doing this for almost 100 years. I mean, this isn't new to you. You guys know water, and you know what's right. You know how to treat people right. You know how to treat water the right way and make it the best it can be for people.
Yeah, that confidence doesn't come from nowhere, right? We know what we're doing. We know we have the best products on the market. There's a reason Culligan has been around since 1928. I am a third-generation Culligan man. Some people know me as the water boy. Like I said, I respect my elders, so my dad is the Culligan man, and I am gladly the water boy. And we're here to help Utah families create better water for themselves, for their pets, for their homes, right? Water is more than just what you drink. It is wellness. It is better for your skin, for your hair, for your body, for your mental health. I hope you leave this show the most hydrated, the most mental, with the most mental clarity you've ever had in your life because you've been drinking good quality Culligan water all day.
I'm smarter because I've been with you guys today, for sure.
Dang right you are.
I am. I can feel it. So drinking water is such an important thing. It's such a big deal. You have an ability to provide the very best drinking water for people. I know for me, I can't wrap my head around turning my faucet on and putting in a cup of water and actually drinking that.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Nope, not at all. Absolutely. If you give us a call, we'll come and test your water for you. So we'll take a sample of water out of your tap, tell you what's in the water, show you, we can test it, show you what the TDS of that water is, show you what contaminants are in your water, and then we can also purify that water on the spot so that you can see the difference between what your water was and what it can look like after Culligan filters it for you.
Yeah, and that's such a thing because, I mean, you think about your kids, you think about yourself. I mean, we've got this amazing water filtration portable system that you can put into an office, and it'll do all of those things right in an office, or for your kids, it's possible to do. You don't necessarily need this, but you have the other system that you can actually do at home.
Yeah.
And I know parents want their kids to be drinking good water, and it's a real thing. I mean, my kids, everyone carries around a water bottle and and it's just a thermos, whether they're in sports or whether they're just doing their regular life. It's something that we just really have been conditioned to do, and to know that we're going to get the best water possible, I think is a great peace of mind for parents and for anyone drinking water, for that matter.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I do the 5-gallon drinking water at my house because I love the way it tastes. I put it in my mudroom, heading out into the garage, and my kids, they're filling that thing up twice a day, 3 times a day, 4 times a day. We fill that thing up. In fact, the other day at a soccer practice on the way home, I had one of the dads of the other boys give me a call and say, "What? I'm supposed to call you? My son told me I'm supposed to call you about Kel's water? What's going on?" He said, "Oh, it's Culligan water." He's like, "Yeah, apparently all the kids on the soccer team want Culligan drinking water, so we've got them signed up. Now we've got water delivery out to the homes in South Jordan of the kids on the soccer team."
So you guys make it easy. You have an app that manages this for you, so you don't miss out on anything. You keep everything regulated the right way. If you're going to have water leaks in your house, or it can detect those types of things in your systems. And you also do this for under $1 a day, which is incredible.
Yeah, Culligan systems are different, right? Everybody knows that you need water filtration in Utah, but Culligan systems truly are the best systems on the market. We build them differently. They are manufactured by Culligan. They're not just rubber stamped with some other plumbing shop's name, right? We manufacture them. These are manufacturer warranties. These are proven technologies. These are the best products in the industry, and we've been doing it for 3 generations. I stand behind this. There's a reason that we're willing to give you 3 months free. It's because we're so confident in all of our products and services. It's not just the products. Our service team is fantastic, bar none the best in the industry. Our customer service team, our service technicians that are out servicing this equipment, we do residential systems, we do commercial systems, we do bottled water, we do salt delivery. Everything water touches, Culligan can improve and help be a partner in. So give us a call, 801-509-9602, or visit us at culliganslc.com. Scroll through our products and services. You'll be amazed by the water quality once you install one of these systems.
And you have this amazing deal going on right now.
Yep.
Tell us here. You got the last word. You tell us.
Absolutely. This is the end of the show. Thank you so much for having us, Scott. 3 months for free. Try it before you buy it. We'll come in and we'll install the right system for you for 3 months for free. If you call before the end of the show, $500 off this whole home water system, plus we'll give you free salt delivery for a year. But you got to call now, 801-509-9602.
Do it, folks. 801-509-9602. Thank you so much. Really been a pleasure here today. Really appreciate it, you guys.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Okay. The drive on Monday, I think we have a preview here. Before we wrap this up, Porter's got an update on what's coming up next week on the drive.
Spence back in the saddle on a Monday. Scott Britton Johnson, the former Ute, Alex Jensen's teammate, will stop by the program. Josh Furlong, of course, of KSL. We'll talk some hoops with Tom Haberstroh on the NBA Daily Assist, and maybe one Bill Riley, depending on the schedule. So that'll be on a Monday show.
Sounds exciting. Tune into the drive here on ESPN 700 92.1 FM. We're from 2 to 6, right? Every day here with Spence. Thank you so much, Porter Larson, for all you do. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. And until then, we'll see you then. It is the drive with Spence Checketts, ESPN 700 92.1 FM.